will, of course, be presenting, but there's going to be some special interjections here. So our guest, mother was born and raised in Dubai. His uncle is a regional COO of Saudi Aramco's operations in the Jordan area. He has expertise, a lot more than me, so that's why he's here. Now, company information.
Yes. So as you can see, Saudi Aramco is headquartered in Dhahran, Saudi Arabia. It trades on the Tadawul Stock Exchange. Its CEO is Ahmad H. Nasser. Am I pronouncing that right? Ahmad H. Nasser. It's the world's largest oil and gas company. They do not sell any mint, only exotic.
Only exotic.
And it's the second largest company in the world by revenue with $552.25 billion in 2022. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Sheikh, you could briefly give him a brief explanation. Well, I guess no, you can't really, but all right. Read the title slide first. Let him know what it says.
معلومات الشرطة.
Company info for nerds. That's you right there. You laughing with the white sweatshirt. You're a nerd. World's largest oil company. Company has a long history of stable and consistent oil production. Chick, could you give a little background on what your grandfather used to do in the region?
السلام عليكم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين.
All right, so we'll do a brief translation. Hold on. He praised God. He gave you all a greeting. His grandfather runs the day-to-day operations. So you got a bunch of oil workers on the rig. They're getting up crude. They're sending it to the shipyards to get shipped out to refineries. His grandfather is the one kind of managing all that. And he's 84 years old. Let's give him a hand. Yeah. Mr. Nasir, great man, by the way. I can't wait to meet him. All right. Company info for loser B. It's just more stuff. It's not really relevant to the presentation, guys. Like Saudi Aramco is such an amazing corporation with strong moral values, excellent corporate structure, amazing profit margins.
Wait, we have a question from Justin over here. Big money.
I would like you to define what's loser B. Like, what is
Who is loser B? Let's hear one. Who's loser B?
Yeah, so you'll find in life, people, when you go through it, that there are usually two types of people, right? There are three, actually. There are the successful people, one of them right here, another future one right here. And then there are the losers, and these are the people who were in positions to be successful. Maybe they were born into a position of wealth, but they squandered it, they wasted it. And those are people are split into two categories, loser A and loser B. The difference between them is immense. Loser B is infinitely worse off than loser A. Here's why. Loser A has a very strong social circle. So they've squandered their wealth, but they got a lot of friends, and that's who they were spending the wealth on. So there's a lot of energy going out in different relationships. That's why they failed, because they're putting all their energy into their friends, and then they can't accomplish anything, right? Loser B has one relationship. Maybe it's his chick, maybe it's his best friend. He has one person that he's focusing all his time on, and he's still a failure. So with one relationship, he still fails. A little bit of a tangent here, but that's basically why loser B is infinitely worse than loser A. And if you're really concerned about the company invests, the company's a leader, that's loser B activities, guys. Come on, let's get to the real important information. How to stop being a loser. Buying Saudi Aramco. Let's look at their board of directors. Oh, by the way, also they were welcomed onto the Tadawul Stock Exchange. Any comments on that?
ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين.
It was a good day, guys. This is a lot of money for Saudi Arabia right here. 21% of their GDP, if you're curious. But again, that's another loser B statistic. The real important information is with their board of directors.
ياسير عثمان الرميان.
Chairman of Saudi Arabia. You just want to
Sure. So he holds a bachelor degree in accounting from King Faisal University. For those of you who are unaware, that's the most prestigious university in Saudi Arabia, perhaps the entire Middle East. And he went to Harvard Business School, as I'm sure all of you are familiar with.
Mid-level school compared to King Faisal.
Yeah, yes. I mean, to you Americans, it may seem like Harvard Business School is at the top of its league, but it is nowhere near the expertise and the quality of education given at King Faisal University in Saudi Arabia.
Harvard Business School, guys. Business with a B. Let's just keep that in mind. Okay.
Dr. Ibrahim Al-Assaf.
Again, he went to Colorado State University, University of Denver, both mid-tier American institutions, but King Saud University. If King Faisal University is the Harvard of Saudi Arabia, consider this the Yale. This is another prestigious institution for only the utmost of scholars.
Yeah, and I know some of you out there, again, loser B type activity, are probably wondering, why are they telling us about these people? Guys, these people run the company. They're the ones who are going to be taking your money that we put in, and we're going to put in a lot, guys, trust. And they're the ones who are going to be managing it, directing it, making it grow, treating it like a beautiful little money tree that will sprout into lots of dividends. Give me them dividends! Yeah. All right, next.
Muhammad al-Jabbar.
Now this is incredibly important. He holds a degree in Islamic economics.
How many Islamic economic scholars out there, guys? Come on. No, nobody.
No, we only have expat analysis from J Money.
That's fine. I mean, that's like pretty good.
And again from Imam Muhammad bin Saud Islamic University. Consider this the Princeton of Saudi Arabia and the Middle East in general.
This is an all-star crew right here. These people know what they're doing, all right? If it has anything to do with making corporate profits while keeping everything equitable and fair and safe for the workers, these are your guys.
Muhammad al-Tuwajiri.
He's an advisor to the Saudi royal court. What can I say? This is one of the most successful royal families in history. Yes, Palmer.
How many of these people passed as mathematics?
Oh, all of them. In
Every
flying
single
colors at age 12.
Yeah, this dude in particular, age 6. So what have you done with your life?
He's at King Faisal Air Academy. He's doing differential equations, which of course you need to learn in expat analysis. Which,
Yes, sir. Nah, never mind.
all right.
Yeah, irrelevant information, guys, not related to it, but Justin does know how to integrate, so if you all need help, Justin.
Oh, that's exactly what I felt.
So you took mathematics.
Mr. Peter.
Guys, listen, I know you might be thinking Mr. Peter seems a little, not as much prestige in the education department as the rest of them, but if you go to their website, he is listed on the board of directors, so there's clearly something to him. Let's take it away, Lucas.
Yes, exactly. So he graduated from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, which is, another mid-tier institution here in the United States. But
Upper mid-tier, though. Upper.
he's what this country has to offer, and keep this institution in mind. It might come.
It's true, guys. Let's not forget. If any of you guys ever scoff on these people, look down on them. This man could buy your house, my house, the entire school district, and not even look back in his wallet to see if he lost any change. He is incredibly wealthy. We're talking hundreds of millions here. And University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. Don't ever let anyone tell you that, oh, you didn't go to this, you didn't go to the Harvard or Yale, you didn't go to King Saud University, you're not going to make it. Not true, guys. This dude, he's made it. Trust me.
So here are some of our foreign investors. Pies man over here, Walter, you're familiar with him?
Yeah, this is Ford Todd. You might know him. He's a junior. He started working at Alessandro's, which is an Italian bar in Wayne, and he's put all of his money into Saudi Aramco 2 years ago in 2021. And of course, also, by the way, guys, let's be real. In 2021, there was that dip where oil went negative. He bought just after that dip, so Saudi Aramco stock was on the down low, unfortunately. But now, I mean, look at him. That's a gold poker set. If you have a gold poker set, raise your hands. I'm willing to. Yeah, no, you don't. All right.
And then some of these are the other foreign investors. Each of these are trillionaires in their own right. Essentially trillionaires. Over 10 years or so.
In Turkish currency.
As we can see here, these are each of their specialties that they've moved on from, and they've made millions upon millions of dollars, and they've now transitioned into Saudi Aramco, realizing, okay, buying stock in this company is more valuable than e-commerce. It's more valuable than Amazon. It's more valuable than crypto or NFTs or anything like this, because putting your money into Saudi Aramco is truly the greatest financial decision you can ever make.
Mr. Fakhruddin, do you have any comments for those who might say, we should short Saudi Aramco, or we should...
Astaghfirullah.
Is that it? I mean, just an astaghfirullah. I mean, I think...
قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس.
That's true. They are dogs. All right, next one. Guys, listen. I know you might not have been expecting to see Luton, on the map here for a Saudi Aramco presentation, but it's important to remember that Luton was once the air capital of the world. All these Saudi foreign investors are flying out from Luton into Dubai, connecting with Saudi Aramco. It's one of actually the main stoppage ports. So, Saudi Aramco's success is directly linked to Luton's success. The Luton airport is basically 95% of Luton's GDP as a total. So, keep in mind, this is, we're honest with you guys. We're gonna be honest. If you do invest in Saudi Aramco, maybe you're taking a visit, you're gonna visit Mohammed bin Salman. If you're doing something like that, you might have to fly through Luton. We're just letting you know because we don't want no nasty surprises here. So, yeah, make sure you're all ready for it.
It's like the O block.
So here's a financial summary of Saudi Aramco. The market capitalization is $7.13 trillion. Let me reiterate that. $1 trillion. Its PE, profits over earnings, 12.11. It's all right. Dividend yield, 3.95%. Not too many dividends, Walter. I don't think we can be saying it, but it's paid up. aka Mr. Block over there, is 0.2. It's not fluctuating too much, and that's exactly what you want in your financial asset. You don't want to throw your money into something and then immediately it's gone the next day because it's too valuable. Saudi Aramco is both profitable, it will grow in money, and it's safe.
Yeah, if you look to the
Look at some of our investors here.
Yeah, guys, I'm not gonna lie to you, that's me with a lot of bands.
That's his
Saudi
dividends.
Aramco.
That's his dividends
It is
alone. And it's
dividends.
only 4%, which shows you the value of Saudi Aramco. And it has Hula, of course. Yes? So some of the additional company information. It's 21% of Saudi Arabia's GDP, and Saudi Arabia is part of the G20. It's one of the largest economies in the world.
That's Mohammed bin Salman, the
Yeah,
crown prince. of
we all
Saudi
have
Arabia.
faith in him, by the way. We all
We do
trust
have
in
faith
him.
in Mohammed bin Salman.
It's staffed by government officials, so it's in good hands, mashallah. And it values worker safety and well-being. He loves his workers, he loves ESG.
In case you guys needed further proof, there's been some slander from Western news outlets like CNN and Fox News is worse, talking about worker safety. The crown prince isn't concerned. Guys, it's not true. Okay, listen. Personal friend here, he knows better than anyone. Nobody loves his workers more than the crown prince.
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم.
That's fair enough.
He's praising.
What do you say?
So here's our chart. This is Saudi Aramco.
Don't let the red deceive you.
So yeah.
Don't be deceived.
So it's down 12% in the past year, but there is something to blame for this. So it's 12%. My friends, this is the work of Shaitan.
It is, guys. Listen, no, honestly, Saudi Aramco is a large part of Saudi Arabia's GDP. The company failing as a result of outside forces. Again, maybe you're not religious, but I don't think that's on them. I think that's on something else.
It's on Shaitan. But the thing is, we can take this bad situation and make it for the better. Because if
We invest.
if it's at a low price right now, we will buy and the price will go up and we will make
We are
profit.
also signaling to the market with the massive wealth of Conestoga that Saudi Aramco is a good bet. This will convince other people to move in as well, which increases prosperity in the region.
So here are some of our competitor trucks. You can see here ExxonMobil and Shell. Now you might be wondering, why don't we invest? They hate the crown prince. And it's shirk.
Yeah, guys, these companies, they don't respect their workers. Shell has a really atrocious history. I can't get into it here because, PG-13 and all that, but some of the stuff they've done in Nigeria and other places where they've taken advantage of the local population, truly disgusting. Yes.
What is Saudi Aramco's stance on fracking?
Fracking?
Oh, they're pro-fracking. Absolutely.
The stance is,
Absolutely.
yeah, the stance is,
Don't think that they're like Joe Biden and they want to ban fracking and then one day they flip-flop. No. They are set on fracking and they know it's the future.
fracking to the moon, guys. Listen.
Do that, friend.
Do that fracking. Exactly. Company ethics and principles. Now, what's you read the quote there from the CEO?
الرسوم البياناتي لعنة مهما كانت التركية التي تقلبها كان الخير يعلى أولئك.
So we're paraphrasing a little bit, but this is essentially the motto of the CEO of Saudi Aramco, just so you know when you're putting your money into it.
It's a rough translation.
Rough translation. Guys,
Also,
listen.
you can see here Mr. Future. He's absolutely a customer of Saudi Aramco. What fuel?
Is that a Rolls?
But it is a Rolls Royce.
Oh my goodness, a
But
Rolls
what
Royce.
fuel do you all think that this runs on? Do you think it runs on
Aramco.
Exactly.
No.
Well,
Not some,
well done, well
not some
done.
loser B Tesla chargers, guys. This is
No.
oil right here. Oh, I need to
That
plug
would
my
be my
Tesla in.
vocabulary.
Oh no, I'm 10 miles outside of the city. I can't drive. And you're like, come on, no, guys. Let's be real. Rolls Royce.
So why should you buy Saudi Aramco? Firstly, it's centered in Saudi Arabia, which is the best country to live in. As you can see here by Mr. Sheikh Asim Al Hakim, who's a noted scholar at, I believe, is it Jeddah University in
It is
Saudi
Jeddah,
Arabia?
yeah. Also, guys, important to note, Saudi Arabia is the opposite of Luton. So, I don't know how many of your J-Block you got experience with Luton, but if you're looking for a place that's like far away, Saudi Arabia is the place to be. They drive away from sin. Put that oil in your car, put the gas in, step on the gas pedal, get away from all these bad practices from other companies. Saudi Aramco is the place to be, fellas.
And it's important to reiterate that Saudi Aramco is the greatest contributor of global carbon emissions of any company in the world since 1965.
Not like Tesla, guys. Tesla's like, oh no, emissions.
Bro.
Saudi Aramco's on that train, baby.
So you might be
on
wondering,
the train.
why is it important? Well, firstly, it's key to understand, you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs. And if you've broken the most eggs, then surely you're making the best omelet.
Oh,
And that's
look
what
at
Saudi
that.
Aramco does.
All right, guys, I didn't want to get to this slide. It's not what I wanted to include in here, but it's important. Hey! Pay attention. It's important to note that there are downsides to going against Saudi Aramco and the associated country where its major GDP component is Saudi Arabia. So I mentioned before Mr. Peter, who went to the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, right? And he's a multimillionaire. Well, we have another member, actually a close friend of mine, who also went to the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign.
Yo!
One of our friends recognizes him.
I do.
I hate to tell you this, well, I'll just let the slide do it. He shorted Saudi Aramco. Dead serious, went all in against it, thought oil was on the way out, thought Tesla was on the way up, and drove his Tesla out to some sort of convention here, got stuck because there was no chargers, and now that's where he is. So, further enemies, guys, I'm afraid to say, but we do have an enemy locally here in Chesterbrook.
Dynamic Energy Solutions, headquartered in Chesterbrook. What a shame. They're tapping directly into Saudi Aramco's market in the energy market. If we cannot allow that to happen, we need to invest into Saudi Aramco.
Don't let this picture fool you guys. These people are disgusting. Horrible worker treatment practices, horrible financial models. They don't even believe in paying their employees. They call it volunteers. Volunteer, yeah, it sounds like indentured servitude to me, guys. I would stay away from Dynamic Energy Solutions, purely from an ethical standpoint, but also, I mean, if your heart is so inclined from a profit standpoint, like, this company's going nowhere. So. Major investor in Dynamic Energy Solutions is Luton, by the way. I know they come up a lot, but they are linked. A lot of Luton residents do pour money onto wind and solar and all these hoo-ha technologies, but regular power outages, folks, Saudi Aramco is the place to be. Basically sums up our attitude toward this stock, guys. I don't know if you can tell, but buy Saudi Aramco.
So here's your proposal.
Buy Saudi Aramco. All in, fellas. All in. Thank you.
Are there any questions?
What percentage of America's energy usage is directly linked to Saudi Arabia?
Wow. So it used to be actually the majority back in like the 1950s, 1960s, because at one point Saudi Aramco was owned by American investors, but that share has slowly decreased. However, don't let that fool you. Since the 1990s, Saudi Aramco has increasingly sold more and more oil and gas to China, Korea, and Japan, so the revenue has continued to increase.
Yeah, guys, don't let the West lie to you and tell you that, like, electric energy, right, the new thing. Guys, it's just here. It's just New York. It's just San Francisco. Trust me, out there in Italy, out there in Russia, like, it's still gas, and it's going to be gas for a long time. So I think
It's tried and tested, right?
Tried and tested, exactly.
As a shout.
What
Shout for
percentage
sure.
of this company is owned by non-Middle Eastern owners?
Yeah.
Non-Middle
There are a
Eastern
few to be
owners.
sure.
It would be hard to determine because obviously there's a confidentiality right between ownership. But don't let that be clear.
That's sweet.
It is a sweet. That is completely right. What is the problem as a Western investor in Saudi Aramco?
I'm not saying that.
Oh, gosh, okay.
There's no problem.
I'm just curious if there's global interest in this.
There is.
Yes.
There absolutely is. Especially in the East Asia market. Because think about it, Korea, Japan, and China. Do they have any oil resources in their own territory? No. So where do they have to get it?
The Middle East.
The Middle East.
For us, we could do that. But
Yes, but that's a whole ocean
exactly.
away.
But we're all on the Tesla train over here in the West, so we're not doing that, which is why the market will be filled by Saudi Aramco. And guys, I showed you the slide with the board of directors for a reason. These are qualified people. They know what they're doing. We're not handing our money to, I'm not going to name anyone here, but we're not handing our money like somebody here who's like never touched a stock trade in their life that's outside Market Watch. These are seasoned investors, folks. Any other questions?
All right, I know you guys can't predict the market, but what percentage return rate are you guys thinking before the end of the year when the market?
Double digits for sure.
Double digits?
Double digits. Maybe triple, honestly, depending on what China does.
What does Shik have to say about this?
It's a shake.
Shake Milton.
So the Sheikh is absolutely confident.
Can we hear from him?
Yeah.
Guys, he does. All right.
He doesn't speak. He has some broken English if you'd like to.
Speak some English. Yeah.
What language does he speak?
Arabic.
I'll translate.
Asleep.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, he'll translate.
Has he been speaking fast?
if China gets involved on the side of Russia in the Ukraine war, how will this affect this company? Do you think?
Okay, so that's actually a very good point. And here's the thing: So if China gets involved, right?
Yeah.
Further gas and oil supply from Ukraine will decrease, right? Who's gonna fill that gap? Saudi Aramco. Price will go up, quantity will go up, that demand is increasing. And what happens when the price of oil goes up to a company like this? Stock price goes up.
Yes, but what if China, with their alliance with Russia, uses Russian oil instead?
This is a hypothetical and very unlikely speak.
But what if it happens?
If it happens, Mohammed bin Salman,
We have faith.
we do have faith, and he does head the country of Saudi Arabia. He will take the necessary measures to make sure that the only affordable oil comes from Saudi Aramco, guys. Listen, we've actually seen this before. The Chinese were, getting a little handsy with the oil back in 2021, and Saudi Arabia had to take care of it. They flooded the market. Oil dropped to negative. Chinese investors pulled out because they couldn't afford it, and then Saudi Aramco's back on top. So they've done it before. They'll do it again. Good question.
Palmer, you have a question?
How do you feel about the threat of the U.S. invading because of oil?
Saudi
Invading
Arabia?
Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
Well, the U.S. already has kind of invaded Saudi
Sure,
Arabia.
I mean,
we
we
have
did spend
military
like 20
bases
years
there.
in that
So
general
there,
region.
Saudi Arabia, that's a very good point you made, Paul. Saudi Arabia's defense has been subsidized by the United States government, which means that its oil flow is at no risk, especially compared to a country like Iran or Iraq, who constantly face threats of both terrorism and state action.
Yeah, Iran's actually aggression is good for Saudi Aramco because Iran's extension of aggression, which is increasing all the time, causes the U.S. and Saudi Arabia to become closer partners. And the U.S. controls the seas and Saudi Aramco controls the product. So ever seen Breaking Bad? You got both of those things locked down, you're going to make some money.
You still white?
Question? No? Okay.
Is that all?
I think that's it.
All right. Yay.